Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Vania Yudith, so you can call me Vania. I'm from Translation F, and in this moment I want to present about alternative technique for teaching writing. Okay, in this moment I want to tell you about the concept of writing. Writing is a such of productive skills that means it's produce a sequence of sentence arranged in a particular order or linked together in certain ways. The sequence may be short, maybe two or more sentence or more uh, sentence put in order and linked together, forming a coherent whole called a sentence, called a text. I'm sorry, and then writing activities is carried out in various ways. The ways can represent what approach that is used, and then in general, writing process it can be categorized into two approach, namely products approach and process approach. Product approach focus on the end result of the learning process. It expects the learner to be able to do a fluent and competent user of the language. Okay, I want to tell you about product approach. In this product approach, it is considered as a traditional way of teaching writing. It push the product or result. In this application, the learner are given only very little attention to help them develop their ideas in writing process. And then uh, the writing activities using product approach is began by having students use notes to write complete sentence and following a given models, and then it is continued by reading a model of the text and having students produce similar text. So the most of student activities tend to be guide writing, in which they mostly do grammar exercise. And then the writing products are considered good of they are free or have only few errors. Then the student write a very carefully in the foreign language to to hide the errors, like that. And then process approach is process more active classroom activities to help students develop their ability to convey meaning and content that they want to express in their text. And then in a process approach, classroom activities can be carried out in six steps. I'm sorry. The first step is writing process should focus on the instruction. It means that the student can initiate into the process, and the teacher should prepare to intervene in the student writing process with suggestion and correction to help them overcome difficulties encountered in each of the stage. And then the second step is the assigned writing task should encourage students to write a variety of model beside expository writing. And then for the third, conferencing is an important part of classroom activities between teacher and student, as well among students, to provide students with immediate meaningful responses to their writing. And then the fourth, the main role of the teacher is a facilitator, in which she should not focus just on errors in the product, but it's free to respond to a number or phase of student writing. And then for the fifth, students should be able to work and help each other. And then um, for the last, it should be able to encourage a bond to tie all members of the class into one community, which members feel responsible for each other growth. And then okay, in this moment I want to tell you, or I want to give you alternative technique for teaching writing. There are guided question. this technique, which is student write after given any question about the topic. It belongs to a simple technique because students are still guided by the teacher with question. Okay, and then for the second is connected sentence. Connected sentence are technique that involve all the members of the class in a writing activity. It's begun by determining the topic followed by the building background, and then the teacher asks the first student to write a sentence based on the topic on the whiteboard. It should continue by the other student until all students in the class have written one sentence of each, and then after that the teacher discuss the student sentence. Okay, and then there are index card match. Index card match is a kind of technique matching cards to find the pair of the card. It is an active and fun way to recall the materials that is given, and then it will help students actively participate in the writing process. It also helps the class atmosphere careful and pleasant and sometimes a bit noisy. Okay, and then there are a quiz team technique. Quiz team technique is this technique may help students focus on the topic discussed, for they should make any question that will be given to other groups. This led to their seriousness. It may also help students develop their creativity, like this. Okay, and then the last thing, pair and share. This technique can be applied when the teacher presents the topic or problem after delivering his material. The teacher gives the student time for thinking about the topic or problem individually, and then students are asked to make pairs. They are allowed to discuss their opinion or ideas about the topic and or the problem with their partners. Then they write the result of their discussion. After that, they share the result of their discussion that they have written in the class. Next, teacher and student discuss it together. Okay, for the conclusion, writing is a kind of active or produce skill, so that it needs to produce a series of sentences to form a good text. The produce a reliable text and need not only interesting content but also various vocabularies, grammatical language use, as well as script, paragraph organization, and mechanism like spelling and punctuation. Okay, however, this technique in writing activity are also important, that they should be able to encourage students in writing activities. This technique should give change and attention to the student writing activities in order that they can explore and improve their competence. Those various techniques or strategies should be tried to apply in writing activities, either for individual or group works. Okay, I think that's all from me. If any mistake, I'm sorry. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.